wow. I moan about like literally anything. If it's hot, it's too hot. If it's cold, it's too cold. And I always whinge about where I live, even though I've got, as you can see, quite a lot of space. Anyway, I watched this thing on YouTube about this guy who explored these people who live in things called coffin homes or cage homes. And anyway, I was totally shocked. It was, well, I'll never complain about where I live again. Put it that way. I've got plenty of space. Here's some videos so you can see for yourself. Shocking.
Would you believe that this might be the most expensive real estate in the world, and it's far from luxury? These tiny cage homes in Hong Kong rent for around $230 for a 16 square foot block that can barely fit a twin bed. At this price per square footage, it's even more expensive than a 4-bedroom luxury rental at Billionaires Row in Manhattan. In Hong Kong's poorest areas, rooms are filled with these subdivided flats with up to 30 cages per room, and some are even stacked on top of each other. 20 or more people are expected to share one toilet and shower, and the lack of proper ventilation and air conditioning makes these homes even worse than third world conditions. An estimated 250,000 people live in these squalid places, which the United Nations refer to as an insult to human dignity. Now, my mom actually grew up in similar conditions in Hong Kong, and though not quite as bad, it was still 6 people to 1 room. And while she was able to break out of the cycle of poverty, she is the exception and not the rule. My grandparents today get to live a very comfortable life, but it's not a far-fetched reality for them to have also ended up in these conditions, which is heartbreaking to think about. For example, this 78-year-old man lives alone in a cage filled with bed bugs and needs a ventilator to help his chronic asthma. As tragic as these cage homes are, they're a symptom of the larger housing crisis in Hong Kong. 90% of Hong Kong residents live in spaces less than 750 square feet, and the average price of a home hovers around $1.3 million. This is just a reminder of the stark inequality that exists in one of the world's wealthiest cities, which holds over 125,000 millionaires. Looking at history, unchecked inequality can fatally rupture the fabric of society, and it's not just Hong Kong that suffers this global issue.
Right now, I'm in somebody's bedroom in Hong Kong. It's known to have the tightest living conditions in the world. This is a really sad reality for 100,000 people in Hong Kong that have to live like this. And in this video, I'm going to be traveling around Hong Kong, meeting locals and finding out just how they do it. I'm inside one of the last remaining cage homes in Hong Kong. Do you plan to leave this place and have a new home?
He said, I have no plan. I just waiting to die.
If this was me, I don't think I'd even want to go on. I'd probably rather be homeless. Like, can you imagine living? It's like a dog cage. Can you imagine living in that? I felt so sorry for them. On a YouTube video I was watching, there was a woman who was, I think she said 70, and she was living in a little tiny room. It was littler than under my stairs. It was horrible. And she was lonely as well. She's just going to die alone in that little thing. It's absolutely inhumane.